Welcome back to KBUZZPOP, the channel where we dive into the most talked about stories, shocking revelations, and emotional moments in the world of Korean stars. Today, we have something that will absolutely shake the fandoms of both Jung Hae-In and Jung So-min. The two beloved stars have been spotted together in a very unexpected place, a church in California. And this raises a storm of questions. Are they preparing for something big? Could this be a wedding rehearsal, a private ceremony, or perhaps just a quiet spiritual moment that ended up stirring up major speculation online? Whatever it is, fans can't stop talking, and today we're going to dig deep into what this sighting could really mean. Imagine this, a calm Sunday morning in California. Locals walking into a beautiful, sunlit church, not expecting anything unusual. Suddenly, whispers begin spreading. Two familiar faces walk in hand, with an aura that seems both private and significant. Yes, it was Jung Hae-In and Jung So-min. For many fans, the first thought was simple but electrifying. Is this the prelude to a wedding? Or is there something deeper about their visit? Before we jump to conclusions, let's break it down together. Now, for those of you who have followed both of their journeys, you already know how much speculation has surrounded their relationship. From their undeniable on-screen chemistry to off-screen moments that felt too real to ignore, fans have always suspected there was something special between them. And yet, they've both stayed incredibly private, never giving the media or the public an official confirmation of romance. But here's where things get interesting. A church sighting is not the same as being spotted at a cafe or an airport. A church brings in symbolism, emotions, and yes, the idea of commitment. That's why this single sighting has turned into a wildfire of rumors across social media platforms. Let's pause here and ask, what do you think? If two stars like Hae-In and So-min are spotted quietly entering a church together in another country, what would your first guess be? Would you think wedding bells, or maybe just friends finding peace in a spiritual place? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this debate is exactly what has fans divided. Reports from bystanders describe the moment vividly. They weren't just entering casually, they were seen dressed in coordinated semi-formal outfits. Hae-In was wearing a clean, classic white shirt with dark trousers, and So-min had on a simple but elegant beige dress. Nothing flashy, but everything about their appearance screamed purpose. One eyewitness even claimed they weren't alone. They were accompanied by what looked like a small group of close people, possibly family or trusted friends. Now, if that doesn't sound like preparation for a significant life moment, then what does? But hold on, before we jump into the theory of a secret wedding, let's think about another angle. Both Hae-In and So-min are known for their humility and down-to-earth personalities. They have often spoken in interviews about finding strength in quiet places, enjoying normalcy, and not letting fame define their private lives. Could it be that they were simply seeking a spiritual retreat together, away from the constant spotlight of Korea's entertainment industry? After all, California is known as a place where many stars go to find peace, away from flashing cameras. Still, fans can't ignore the timing. Both actors have had very successful runs in their recent projects. With their schedules momentarily lighter, could this trip to California be their chance to take a major step forward in their personal lives? Many are now speculating that the church scene might be a precursor to marriage talks, or even a rehearsal for a wedding that they plan to keep private until the very last moment. It's not unusual for Korean stars to keep their relationships hidden and only reveal them once things are already official. Could this be one of those cases? Now let's dive into fan reactions, because they are priceless. On Twitter, hashtags like hashtag Hae-In So-min wedding, hashtag California church sighting, and hashtag K-drama couple real have been trending non-stop. One fan tweeted, "I knew it. The way they looked at each other in their drama wasn't acting, it was real love. A church in California. That's not casual." Another wrote, "I hope it's true, I want to see them happy together. They deserve it." Meanwhile, skeptics argue that the whole thing might be blown out of proportion, saying, not every church visit means a wedding. Let them breathe, guys. This divide in opinions makes the story even juicier. Think about it, if they are indeed preparing for marriage, then the secrecy makes sense. But if it's just a casual visit, then why California? Why not back home in Seoul? Why travel halfway across the world, only to do something as private as attending church together? That's the part that really has fans scratching their heads. Another intriguing angle is the symbolism of the church itself. Churches, as we all know, aren't just places of worship, they're also traditional venues for weddings, for vows, for milestones that change lives. So even if Hae-In and So-min weren't marrying that day, Just being there together sends a powerful message. For fans who've been rooting for their romance to finally be acknowledged, this sighting feels like confirmation, even without words. Let me throw another question to you, the audience. If you were in their shoes, would you keep your relationship private until the last possible moment? Or would you let the world know as soon as you were sure? Think about the pressure these stars face. One announcement could affect their careers, their fanbase, and even how future dramas are received. That's why every move they make, especially something as intimate as a church visit, is dissected under the public eye. To make this even more intriguing, some insiders have hinted that Hae-In's family has connections in California, which could explain their presence there. Imagine if this wasn't just a trip for the two of them, but rather a family gathering that included So-min. Wouldn't that already mean a huge step forward in their relationship? Meeting family in such a setting isn't casual, it's deeply significant. On the other hand, So-min has always been vocal about wanting a relationship that's grounded in sincerity and faith. She once said in an interview that when the time comes for her to marry, she hopes it will be simple, heartfelt, and meaningful rather than extravagant. And if you combine that with this quiet, almost secretive church sighting, it all starts to fit together like puzzle pieces. Could this be her vision quietly unfolding before the world without even an official announcement yet? Fans have already begun creating edits, videos, and photo collages of the church moment, pairing it with romantic clips of their drama scenes. TikTok is flooded with speculations, and YouTube fan accounts are already running theories of how the two might have been secretly together for years. Some even suggest that their chemistry in dramas was fueled by a real relationship all along, something they only now feel ready to bring closer to the surface. But let's also play devil's advocate. What if this is just the media once again jumping the gun? What if they are really just good friends, attending church as a way to find peace, and all this wedding speculation is nothing but fantasy? That possibility exists, of course. Yet, the little details, the outfits, the group they were with, the way eyewitnesses describe their closeness, make it harder and harder to dismiss the idea that something big is brewing. At this point, fans around the world are glued to their screens, waiting for any official statement from their agencies. So far, both agencies have stayed silent. And as you know, in the world of K-drama stars, silence often speaks louder than words. Silence fuels the mystery, and mystery keeps the fans buzzing. So let's circle back to the big question. Are Jung Hae-In and Jung So-min preparing for a big day in their lives? Whether it's a wedding, an engagement, or simply a step forward in faith and unity, the sight of them together in a California church has already created a wave of excitement that won't calm down anytime soon. What matters now is how they choose to share, or not share, this part of their journey with the world. Before I wrap up, I want to hear your thoughts. If this church sighting really was a sign of a wedding to come, would you support them fully? Do you think they should announce it publicly, or keep it as private as possible? And if it turns out to be just a spiritual moment with no wedding attached, do you think the fans and media are overstepping? Let's make the comments section explode with your opinions, theories, and wishes for these two incredible stars. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is undeniable. Jung Hae-In and Jung So-min share a bond that people can't ignore. Whether it's in dramas, in interviews, or in moments like this, their connection feels real, and fans are more than ready to celebrate their happiness, whatever form it may take. So, stay tuned, because this story is far from over. And as always, we'll be right here to bring you every update, every whisper, and every confirmation as it happens.